Open your phone right now and count how many apps on it you've never paid for. Not downloaded and deleted. Still there, still open almost every day. For most people, that's somewhere between 5 and 15 apps. Spotify, TikTok, Discord, Reddit, maybe Instagram, maybe YouTube, maybe a dozen more. Every single one of those apps has the exact same button hiding somewhere in its settings. Upgrade, go premium, remove ads, unlock more. So it's natural to assume the real goal, the thing the entire business is actually built around, is getting you to finally tap that button. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you're going to look at every one of those apps completely differently. Not because you'll want to pay for them, but because you'll understand why plenty of these companies are just as happy if you never do. Channel 2. Here's the part that doesn't add up at first. Spotify, TikTok, Reddit, Discord, and dozens of platforms like them have built some of the most valuable companies on Earth around people who may never hand over a single dollar. And it's not despite the free users, it's partly because of them. If every free user on these platforms vanished tomorrow, and only the paying customers stuck around, most of these companies wouldn't just shrink, they'd break. To be fair, the title of this video is a little dishonest. These companies do want some people to pay, they just don't need everyone to. And that distinction is the whole business model. A free user isn't a failed customer waiting to convert. On plenty of platforms, the free user is the product, working exactly as designed. The obvious explanation is advertising. You use the free version. You see ads between songs, posts, or videos. An advertiser pays the platform for your attention. You never touch your card, but money still moves because you showed up. That part is simple. And honestly, it's the least interesting reason companies keep hundreds of millions of free users around. Channel 3. The more interesting reason is what those free users are worth before an ad ever plays. Picture opening TikTok to 10 videos, or joining Reddit and finding every community empty, or downloading Discord and realizing none of your friends are on it. Every one of those apps would be worthless. And not because the software got worse. The software would be identical. What's missing is everyone else. This is a network effect. A product gets more useful as more people use it, and free access is the fastest way to build one. Every free viewer gives a creator a bigger audience. Every free member gives a Discord server a reason to feel alive. Every free voter, poster, and commenter keeps a Reddit community from going quiet. None of those people ever paid a cent. All of them are doing unpaid labor that makes the platform worth paying for in the first place. Which raises an obvious question. If converting people to paid is where the real money is, why wouldn't every platform push as hard as it possibly could to get that number up? Let's actually check. 4. Spotify's own investor filings put its premium subscriber count at 293 million people out of 761 million monthly users as of early 2026. Run the numbers, and that lands at roughly 38%. Almost 4 out of every 10 people who open Spotify in a given month are paying for it. That's an enormous conversion rate. Across the software industry, 3 to 5% is usually considered a good freemium conversion rate, and Spotify is running at more than 10 times that. Now look at Discord. By the most recent third-party estimates, Discord has somewhere around 7 million Nitro subscribers out of roughly 260 million monthly users. That's not 38%, that's under 3%. Same category, same freemium playbook. One converts more than 10 times as often as the other, and Discord is still worth billions of dollars. That's not a contradiction. It's the same idea from 2 different angles. Spotify makes most of its money directly from subscriptions, so it's built its entire product to push conversion. Discord makes most of its money from a small sliver of fueled fans, buying cosmetics and server boosts, while the other 97% of users are there to make the servers worth showing up to in the first place. Convert everyone on Discord, and you'd shrink the exact fees that Nitro subscribers are paying to be part of. 2 very different numbers. Same underlying math. The free crowd isn't a waiting room for paying customers. On a platform like Discord, the free crowd basically is the product. Network effects explain why free users make a platform more valuable, but they don't fully explain how a platform gets that many free users in the first place, without spending a fortune on advertising. For that, the best case study isn't even a social app. It's Dropbox. In 2008, Dropbox had around 100,000 users. 15 months later, it had 4 million. That's not just marketing working. That's closer to a chain reaction. The system was simple. Every user received a referral link. Invite a friend, and both of you received extra storage as soon as they signed up. No complicated form, no approval process. Just an automatic reward for doing something you probably would have done anyway. And here's the detail most people skip over. Close to a third of Dropbox's signups were already coming through word of mouth before the referral program even existed. People were already telling their friends. Dropbox just built a button that made it easier and let the users do the rest. You've probably done a version of this yourself. Sent someone a playlist, invited a friend into a Discord server, shared a Reddit thread in a group chat. In that moment, you weren't only using the product, you were doing the company's marketing for free and probably never thought of it that way. So every free user is quietly doing two jobs. They're making the platform feel active and they're helping bring in the next user, often at zero cost to the company. Which raises another question. If free doesn't mean nothing changes hands, what is the user actually paying with? Usually more than one thing at once. Attention, which can be sold to advertisers. Activity, which keeps communities alive and gives algorithms content to recommend. And data, what you click, what you skip, what you finish, what you close immediately. The company can use all of that to decide what to recommend, what to change, and what to build next. None of it appears on a receipt, but all of it has value to somebody. That doesn't mean free users are unlimited profit. They're not. Servers cost money, moderation costs money, customer support costs money, and for Spotify, music licensing costs a massive amount. Whether a user pays or not, keeping that person on the platform still has a cost. So every freemium company is balancing the same problem. Make the free version too generous and fewer people upgrade. Make it too frustrating and people leave before the network effect can form. The ideal free tier sits somewhere in the middle, useful enough that most users stay, annoying enough that a smaller group eventually pays. Because these companies don't need most users to convert, they need most users to stay. So here's the actual verdict. The free version was never just a watered down preview waiting to be unlocked. It's the engine. Scale is the product. Premium is only one way the company turns that scale into money. Advertising is another. Data can be another. And on some platforms, a tiny group of heavy spenders can support a much larger group who never pay. Which means the decision to upgrade isn't really about helping the company. It's about whether the upgrade is worth it for you. Ask yourself what you're actually buying before you press that button. If you're removing friction from something you use every day, paying can make sense. But if you're paying only because the free version was designed to become irritating, that's worth noticing. That frustration wasn't always an accident. On many apps, it was engineered, tested, and released on purpose. Not enough to make you leave, just enough to make paying feel easier than continuing to deal with it. So no, free apps don't hate your money. They'll take it happily, but your money was never the only valuable thing you brought. They wanted your attention, your activity, your friends, your habits. And on most of these platforms, they were getting all four long before you ever considered paying. So which app is it for you? Is there one you've been thinking about upgrading for months? Or one you'd rather keep using for free forever? Put it in the comments. I'll actually read them. Because whichever one it is, you were never just a free user. You were part of the business the entire time. This doesn't mean free users are secretly a money printer. They're not. Servers cost money. Moderation costs money. Music licensing costs money. Customer support costs money, whether the person asking for help ever paid $1 or not. Here's the real tension every one of these companies is managing. Make the free tier too generous, and almost nobody converts. Make it too painful, and people leave before the network effect ever kicks in. The ideal free tier is annoying enough to nudge a small fraction of users toward paying, but useful enough that the other 90+% stick around anyway. Because most of these companies don't need most of their users to convert, they need most of their users to stay. So here's the actual verdict. The free version was never a watered down preview waiting to be unlocked. It's the engine. Scale is the product. Premium is just one of a few ways the company eventually cashes that scale in, ads and data being the other two. Which means the upgrade decision on your end isn't really about the company anymore. It's about you. Ask what you're actually buying before you tap that button. If it's genuinely removing friction from something you use constantly, an upgrade can be worth every dollar. But if you're paying just to make the free version stop being deliberately annoying, that's worth noticing. That friction wasn't a bug the company forgot to fix. On plenty of these apps, it was engineered, tested, and shipped on purpose, specifically to make you feel that way. So no, free apps don't hate your money. They'll take it happily, but your money was never the only thing on the table. They wanted your attention, your activity, your friends, and your habits. And on most of these platforms, they were getting all four long before you ever considered paying. Which one is it for you? Is there an app you've been about to upgrade for months? Or one you'd honestly rather stay free on forever? Put it in the comments. I'll actually read them, because whichever one it is, you were never just a free user. You were part of the business the entire time.